Yesterday I received a 2018-2019 disc-bound teacher planner from the TUL brand, which is the Office Max / Office Depot. I also have this set of letter size teacher inserts, which is also available in a smaller kind of half letter format. And I'm going to just do a quick comparison between the two so you can see value-wise which is preferable. And also stylistically, there's a few tiny changes. It really essentially all it boils down to is that this is practically black and white with tiny bits of navy, and these pages all have kind of green accents. All right, here we go. So full disclosure, I have opened this before. I kind of just repackaged it so that it would look, new. But yeah, I've opened this before. So I'm going to actually go into this first, which I'm just going to guess that eventually these will be in stores, although they're currently not available in stores based on this particular sheet right here. So yeah, at some point they will be available in stores. But as far as I can tell, they're a new product. These are available in 3 different colors, but all of them have blue. So this is just the completely blue. Ooh, that's interesting. It feels kind of soft. Oh, and it's like thick. I was not expecting that. I was expecting kind of like a plastic cover, similar to what just the kind of plastic TUL notebooks have. Interesting. It's not quite leathery, but it's also not plasticky. I don't know how to describe this. Huh, okay. So they have a completely blue. They have one that's blue and like a light gray on top, and one that's blue and a kind of pale pink on top. But, I'm not probably intending to use this cover anyway. I'm going to use the brown leather cover. And then I'll just use this when assuming I even use this planner. I don't know. I'm sort of still coveting the new Erin Condren or plum paper, but we'll see. Anyway, all that to say, if I do wind up using this particular planner, I'll keep this cover for eventual storage, but in the actual year, I will use the brown leather cover that I purchased separately. So, okay, this has, I'll just open it. Okay, these are the little page flags. This looks like exactly the same set that you can purchase separately. I'm not sure how much that costs separately. I think maybe $3.50 or $4. There's also one of these guys, these letter size rulers / bookmarks. And then they have stickers, and these look almost identical to the set of, there's also, I don't have them currently, but there's a set of stickers you can buy that color coordinate with this green, and also have like a purple, I think, that look exactly like this, except the page format is the smaller size. So basically, it's 2 sheets of half letter versus 1 sheet of full letter. These all look pretty functional. I'm not sure how many book fairs and field trips we're going to be having in high school, let alone class parties, but we'll see. Friday, nice. First day of school, last day of school. Yeah, I remember the other set of stickers had these too. I think they're practically identical, just different colors. Teacher conference. All right, cool. Okay, so here, this first sheet, I do recognize this sheet. I am actually going to get, because I have another set of these that's opened, so give me just 1 second. And we're back. Okay, so you can see, because before this planner existed, I had already bought 2 packs of these, and I was contemplating buying a 3rd, and I'll tell you why in a second. So this sheet is practically identical. As I said, the only difference is that this is all black and white. No, why is that dented? Okay. Whereas this has kind of the touch of green. And I do like this green, although it was a little tiny bit boring that literally every page in the entire thing had the same color. I don't know. I don't know where I fall on the color preference. I'm kind of in between the, Happy Planner Erin Condren style color vomited all over the page versus, you know, all black and white is a little tad bit boring too. I don't know. I would like professional looking subdued color. And now there is a set of holidays and special dates with some room on every single one in case you need to add something local or school specific. And it's tabbed. So that's pretty cool. And I know for sure that this did not exist on this set because this is an undated set. Okay, and now we have pretty standard 2018, 2019 full calendar year reference. Unfortunately, they do follow the American style Sunday start, which I just can't get behind. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. I spent too many years in Europe, I guess. Everybody seems to agree that the week starts on Monday, or most everybody, and yet somehow on the monthly view, it still starts on Sunday. Anyway, I digress. And this, once again, does not have this because this is an undated set. Okay, birthdays. And this is not terribly useful to me at a secondary level, but because it's essentially just a big calendar year split in, or academic calendar year split into lined boxes, I can just easily enough cover up that birthdays and use this for some kind of yearly overview planning. And I do know that this does exist in here. I'll have to look where. But the sheet is a little bit different because it's just like this, essentially. It starts on January and then you flip it and it's in July, which doesn't make too much sense for those of us with academic calendars beginning in the summer or fall. So this way the spread works, it flows naturally for the traditional American school year. Whereas on this sheet, and I don't remember where in the packet was, but it's in there somewhere and it basically looks the same. I'll do a flip through of this in a little bit. So then we go to seating chart, which is essentially grid-lined pages. We have 2, 4, 6 grid-lined pages. Attendance, 2, 4, 6 sheets of that. And this is the kind of thing where, you know, as it's a disc-bound planner, if you need to insert more into the section, you can easily enough do that. Sorry, I was totally just focused on the middle of the page. Yeah, there's a whole lot to see there, huh? And once again, this sheet does have this exact thing, except it's green. So if you were to buy these as refills for this, you just have to deal with the fact that there's some pages that have green on the top. Okay, year plan. Same concept. Large scale overview of the year. You can do curriculum planning, major units, that sort of thing. I actually have 2 preps, so I might use one for one and one for the other. Okay, 2 notes pages. And here we start on the months. So in front of the month, there are 2 sheets of notes. Ooh, okay. I know this is not like as attractive as some of the other calendars, like on the Erin Condren or Plum Paper. But can I just say that I really appreciate the lines because my handwriting stinks and I really need this to be functional. So, you know, it's not sexy, but it will get the job done. And the boxes are a good size. And then you have previous and following months in the little tiny months and a to-do section. Oh, okay. So each calendar month page has a rule notes page on either side, and it goes straight to the next month. But if you wanted to insert your lesson plans into here, you know, with the ring bound system, that's easily done. You could do that and then essentially have like one notes page ahead of it and one behind it. So you could put your lesson plans in between the months or have them, I'm guessing they're back here somewhere. Oh yeah, right there. So that's the lesson plan section. Okay, so then each month just kind of continues like this. They're all black and white. The The tabs are kind of navy with silver accents. May, June, so the full calendar year, or full academic calendar year, sorry. Then you get your lesson plan section. But as I said, if you want to move those around, that's, okay, this is really weird because it's brand new, but the pages are kind of dented. All right, so this is what's going to be interesting to me, because the reason I was contemplating buying 3 packs of this is that each of these packs only comes with 18 weeks, 18 or 19, I forget, of lesson plans. And I need a full 20 because our first week kind of starts on a Wednesday, and same thing, you know, the end of term is not a full week. And as a result, even though these were inexpensive, I wound up having to buy, or would have had to buy 3 of them just to get enough of the lesson plan pages. I really like these in general. As I said, I already knew the layout of them because these are identical. I like that the pages, the days flow vertically. I don't know, that's confusing terminology because they are arranged horizontally across the top, but the actual flow of time is vertical. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces, but they are, so for me, I have 3 90-minute blocks. So I'll probably use 2 spaces per block and then 1 for my prep. The only thing I don't love is the way this is arranged with subject and time, with the box kind of being divided like that. Our block schedule actually changes from day to day. For instance, on Mondays, it's a shorter, like each block is shorter because the day is shorter. Sorry, my Apple Watch needed me. So I kind of wish that this were not divided, and I may just wind up using like an Avery label there for whatever. Okay, so here's where it becomes very interesting. I need to know how many, okay, so 1 week, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Yay! Okay. There are 40 full weeks. So for me, for our particular school calendar, that will work out perfectly. Why is this dented though? Does that look dented to anybody? It's totally dented. This page. Okay, this is weird. Next we have the grade book section, which are identical to the sheets here. Once again, except that there's no green, which is fine. If you really need color, you can add washi, but for me, this is great. Especially if you run out and you just need to replace them with some DIY ones and you only have a black and white printer, like me. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's, you know, it's generous, but I can see that if I really, really use this, I may need more of these, and that's, I guess, where these packs would come in. And there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 4, 6, 8, 32, 33. There's 33 spots. Ooh. Depending on what happens with our school next year, that may or may not be enough, because I have heard, this will actually be my first year at this school, but I've heard that some of the classes were as high as 38 last year. we shall see. Because that would severely limit the usage of these sheets. These sheets I already kind of had trouble with in this pack because as a secondary teacher, two things. Number one is I have way too many students for just this section. And number two is we have, an online system where all this is stored. Okay, all these pages are just slightly bent. It's frustrating. So here you have room for 8 students per page, and there are 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, 8 pages of this, so 8 times 8. Oh, that's not bad actually, it's 64. It's still not enough for all my classes, but then you have student health info. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 students per page, 4 sheets of that, so 28 students. I don't know, it's been a while for me. The last time I taught was in middle school, and honestly, I feel like this was just not even an issue back then. I had a whole lot more IEP things to think about. So I would worry, I'd rather have like an IEP section, or maybe, I don't know, maybe I need to keep that separate from my planner anyway. We'll see if this is even an issue for me, because I'm teaching high school and I don't foresee too many instances of having meals with my students. But, for the odd occasional celebration at the end of a unit, maybe that will come in handy. These are great. Classroom behavior trackers. Those are also in here. 2 sheets, 4, 6, 8. And as usual, you can add more if you get the other package. And this is the most frustrating section to me, and this was what frustrated me about the prospect of buying 3 of these packs, is the idea that so many of these sheets were spent on these field trip ideas. And it's just, do most classes really take like 1 trip per month? I have 2 students currently in elementary school, and my youngest is going to be in preschool next year. And none of them have ever had 12 field trips a year. The most it's been like 4. So, and then you have, so this is like the ideas page, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sheets, like full sheets per field trip. You can kind of see. And don't get me wrong, if you are a teacher who's going to have a field trip, this will be a very useful page, but for me, I don't really foresee this being terribly useful. So I might just repurpose this tab or just take out the section. And then at the very end, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blank note sheets and a map. Okay, with area codes and time zones. Okay, just side note, I have like Moleskine planners and Leuchtturm planners, and I never understand the purpose of these pages, because at this point it's just a Google away, people, come on. And then a world map showing the highly inaccurate representation of sizes. Oh, okay, and at the end you have one of these kind of grayish clear pocket dividers and a random sheet of paper, which I guess was just in there for packaging. And then again, this same material for the backing, and I don't know if you can see, that is pretty thick. Sorry, do not judge my nails. I'm just not a nail person. And really, really solid. I don't, like I said, I don't foresee myself using this, but it is sturdy. So in just a second, we're going to come back and analyze the contents of these. All right, and we're back. I apologize. I had an interruption from my little guy. So this, actually, I brought this in now. This is the brown cover I will be using for these contents. I had previously bought, and you can see this is actually the cover sheet of this open set, it does come with a little tab on it that says teacher, which I had cut off because I wanted the other tabs to show through. I had purchased a happy planner, which was really pretty and black and white, and I will still use this. I will use this just personally, but even though just stylistically, you know, this is really pretty and this is nicer. It's great stylistically, but from literally, okay, this is what happens. So you see, I cannot bring myself to write a single thing in because I just know that my handwriting on open boxes like this would look terrible. And so instead, I'm going to use this for personal reasons, or as a personal planner, even though I had already gone through and basically like subdivided the weekdays, and then whited out these. I don't know. I'll figure out a way to use them. Maybe I'll use them as reflection pages. This is really pretty, but I found that I needed something in between this and this. And ideally, it would have been great if Happy Planner had like a neutral teacher planner. Although, one of the reasons I'm strongly leaning towards this over the prospect of either an Erin Condren or a Happy Planner is because I do really like the layout of the weeks, like this. And it just seems super functional, especially on a high school level. So we'll see. That's kind of the thing that kept me from the Happy Planner teacher planner. I know that Plum Paper Planner does have a layout similar to this. But once again, the teacher planner comes with all these sections. There's the My Class section, which is not terribly useful to me as a secondary teacher. And as a result, I would have had to just excise all that from the planner or cover up the pages or whatever. And it just seems wasteful. I don't like that. So I want something, the ideal for me would be something in between this like super utilitarian and, you know, stylish, but not perfectly laid out. So we'll see. Maybe next year I'll just design my own, which is, you know, the benefit of the disc bound system. So that being said, I wanted to look at these pages in case you were curious, because the description here includes weekly lesson plans, grade book, student and parent contact info, student health info, absentee tardiness tracker, classroom behavior tracker, and filter planner. And these are 50 sheets each. So, you know, and you can see a little bit of a preview of the pages on the back when you look at it in the store or on the website, but it's not super helpful because it doesn't tell you, for instance, that there are only 18 weeks. So once again, the introductory page is like this, including not only your, you know, school name, school year, school address, grade level. Ooh, that one's gonna hurt. Room number, because I don't actually have my own room. I'm going to be a floating teacher. This is kind of cool. The websites. I'm actually waiting until I'm officially, until I sign my official paperwork with the district, because there are so many websites that I want to register for, but I need to have an official district email, so we'll see. And this one just goes straight from that first page into the lesson plans. Whereas here, a lot of stuff kind of precedes it. You have the first page and it goes into, you know, holidays and special dates, calendar overview, all that. So literally here, the back side of the front page is the first page of lesson plans, which is a little frustrating because if that had just been like a notes page, it would be easier to arrange these however you want. So you've got your lesson plan pages. As I said, there are 18 of these. And they are essentially identical to these. The only difference is that this one is a little bit more stylized. The lines in between each kind of section are green, and then there's green at the top, whereas this is all black and white. So once again, this is the section that was so infuriating to me because of the fact that this is not even enough for one semester. I would have had to buy 3 packages of these to make it through a year, or DIY some, which honestly, you know, in Pages or Word, this would be easy enough to recreate. But there's here's the full year of field trip ideas again, along with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pages of field trip planning pages. So all of those pages would have been wasted for me, and still will be wasted because I already opened this pack and I can't really return it. So I may need to find a teacher in my son's elementary school that uses a disc-bound system that can benefit from these. Student health info. Once again, you don't need this many, and I have a lot of this. It's going to be digital for me. There are, hold on, 2, that's 4, 5, 6. All right, so 6 sheets of that. Student and parent contact info. This is basically enough for one class. Once again, the birthdays. But because it's not a spread, like last time, the first page is like this, and then the second page is kind of on the next page. Yearly overview. So in this case, the birthdays and yearly overview are much better laid out in the actual full planner because they're allowed to be a spread and you can kind of see them all at once rather than having to flip the page. And there are 2 of these yearly overviews. Seating chart pages, I think there's 5 of these. Just grid pages, maybe even 6. Hold on, 1, 2, no, 5. Gradebook pages, once again, identical to these, just with a little bit of color. And then I'm gonna switch hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets, so 10 pages of gradebook. Absentee and tardiness tracker. There's 2 pages, no, I'm sorry, 3 pages, 6 sheets, no, 3 sheets, 6 pages, that's how it works. Behavior tracker, once again, 3 pages, 6 sheets. So I actually sent a kind of mini review / comment into their website. I think this would be a super useful pack if these trackers and gradebooks kind of came as their own pack of 50. If the lesson planning pages came as their own pack, and then if all of these kind of pages were a pack that was kind of like the My Class section and the plum paper planner, because then a secondary teacher could elect, for instance, to not buy that pack and just have enough of these. But all in all, for I think these are $7, unless you have the 30% off, which I used, it's not a bad price if you already have a cover, or even if you wanted to use these to supplement the big Happy Teacher Planner, because it is the same number of discs and the same format. The big Happy Planner is a letter-sized paper, so you know, even if you just wanted to use these because you found them more functional, or if you needed extra checklist pages and the Happy Planner was currently sold out, which I know that happened this year. You know, they were available in the beginning of the year and then they were sold out for a while. So it's not a bad set. I just wish that they would divide it into 3 different sets, kind of the student and parent contact information, the kind of planning, and then the kind of checking and grading and logging, because that would be easier to keep track of, you know, how many of each sheet you need to reorder and all that. I am really torn on this. I think I'm gonna have to wait and see until maybe the new Erin Condren comes out, because I do like that that's dated. I know that some people are kind of not happy with that, but I am really liking that it's going to be dated. But once again, it has the days down this way and then the class sections across. So we'll see. But I do really like this. It's not pretty. It's very, and look, I mean, especially if you're not like super into pretty things, which I'm not super duper into pretty things, or if you're a dude, I can imagine that a male teacher would be a lot more drawn to this than to some of the colorful happy planners. This is great. I'm just sort of, I'm torn because I'm just girly enough to where I'm like, this is a little plain. And then I'm like, this is great, but it's not like super functional. So that being said, honestly, you know, with any amount of stickers or color coding or whatever, you can turn these pretty, I'm sure. The people who have the skill to make their planner pretty can make this pretty. And since I'm not that kind of person anyway, maybe, let's be honest, maybe I should just rejoice at the fact that there are lines on these boxes and just kind of run with it, because it's going to be way more functional and useful. But yeah, so those are the sections. You have dates, seating chart, which has the grid paper, attendance, year plan, then monthly spreads from July through June, 2018 to 2019, and they're all dated. The lesson plan pages are not dated, and they follow the months, although, once again, because it's a disc-bound system, you can easily place those in between the months. Gradebook section, student information section, and field trips, which, like I said, I'm probably going to be taking out, but we'll see. I don't know. Do high school English teachers take their students on field trips? Maybe we'll go see a Shakespearean performance. So yeah, that is my quick overview of, and this is killing me because I actually bought this and this and this separately. It's actually in here somewhere. And so that's a little frustrating because now I didn't realize, at the time, I didn't realize that this is going to be an option. And I do think this is a great option, especially if you don't have a cover already, because you could use these inserts if you either have a Happy Planner cover or one of the TUL Arc, or Levenger covers. But this is really sturdy and not insubstantial. I don't know if this even comes across, but they are quite thick. You know what? I'm gonna go grab my Happy Planner so you can compare. I just grabbed this Happy Planner. I actually don't love their discs. I don't know. See, this is the thing I'm talking about. I'm like, I like cute, but not too cute. Like, this is cool. I like this. The hearts, But I actually got these in like a grab bag at Michael's. I got a classic size Happy Planner and a big one for like $4. So, because they're running out. This is like, oh, I'm sorry. No. This is the one I bought at Staples that has these insides. But there was another one that I got at Michael's. But, same idea. So, you can see this is the kind of just laminated cover that Happy Planner has, that comes with their teacher planners. And that is the width of this teacher planner cover. Significantly thicker, very substantial, looks like it's super durable. I honestly think it's probably about the same thickness as even this cover. Maybe not quite. So the leather cover does have a bit more thickness because it's pretty well made. It's got that double layering. If you have one from Arc instead of TUL, you'll see that this is going to be a lot thinner. But yeah, I really think this is going to be a great option. I should mention, I'm sorry, this is $32. And each of these sets is $7. I'm sure. Oh, and I used a 30% off on this, so it didn't cost me $32, but the price was $32. And if you, I think with Office Depot, if you get over $35, you get free shipping. So I added just some lined sticky notes to my order, and there you go. And those were on sale too. So yay, I'm already stocking up for stuff using all the sales. But what I will say that this does not have, and I honestly couldn't even find them at Office Depot, but I found them at Staples, are these. One second. And we're back. I apologize, I ripped this when I opened it, but yeah, there's 25 of these just sheet protectors, but they're already punched for the disc bound system. And once again, you could use these in a Happy Planner as well. And I can't remember how much this was, but it was not expensive. And so I know that, like for instance, in the Erin Condren, you can pay to have the protectors added. And I don't think Happy Planner even offers these, although they do have other kinds of pockets. But yeah, so I think, like for instance, if I want to have my school calendar right in the front, there we go, and it's good to go. And it's quite large. It actually hangs over a bit, so I honestly would probably put it in the back, because just like that, this cover is a little bit bigger. And the reason it has to do that is so you can fit a full 8.5 by 11 sheet in there, whereas all of these are 8.5 and 11, but they're punched to the edge. So yeah, I think this is a really good option if you value function over form. And if you're like super into stickers and have beautiful handwriting, you can make this look pretty. Mine probably will not, but we'll see. I don't know. And as I said, these, actually, as cheesy as the whole apple thing is, I actually really like this, this front thing that comes with that set. I've also been debating using this cover, but just turned around so that I have the polka dots, which is another option. I don't know. It's fun to have options. And I think, honestly, that's why I'm leaning towards the disc bound, even though I love the feel and look of a spiral planner, but then I hate the thought that like something would be missing, or I wouldn't have enough of a certain kind of page, or you know, I would rip something out and need to move it around somewhere, and I can't do that. So even though I don't think the disc bound system is perfect, I do think it approximates perfection better than the rings. So we'll see. Maybe I will eat my words and wind up ordering either a plum paper or an Erin Condren. I really like the design of the kind of sneak peeks of the new Erin Condren that have come out. It looks so much more professional than previous. Well, okay, when I say professional, please don't be offended. There's a reason I teach secondary school. It's, you know, I'm not like super colorful or super, like these stickers are probably about as colorful as I'm gonna get. The vast majority of my stickers I'm gonna DIY using Avery labels and black ink. So we'll see. But I do think, just especially for secondary teachers, I like the idea of a more muted color palette, and seeing that the new Erin Condren has, for instance, I think there used to be each day had an assigned color, and now each of the days matches the color of the month, and they're already dated. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go on Instagram. There are a few Instagrammers who have previews. And I'm gonna say this right now, the old Erin Condren would not have tempted me, but the new one, it is really pretty. And it's pretty, but it's not like out there pretty. Anyway, I'll probably wind up using this because I do think it's super functional. And the benefit of this kind of system, I didn't even talk about this part. Currently, this planner has all 12 months and 40 weeks of planning pages in here. But I don't need to keep all of those on me at the same time, especially in my school where we teach on a semester basis. So halfway through the year, my students will completely switch. And as a result of that, I can significantly lighten this, or alternatively, and what's more likely, I can supplement it with additional notes pages, just the TUL notes pages, or any that I DIY myself, because I do have a punch for this. Bought it on Amazon. I can highly recommend the Amazon warehouse deals, kind of scratch and dent. I have had so much good luck with them. Every once in a while you'll get a product that's like way too dented for you to use. And when I say scratch and dent, it's usually just like the package has been opened, or there's a dent in the side of the box, but the package is fine. So search for Amazon warehouse deals, and I got my ARC, not TUL, but I have the ARC punch. I think I got it for like $20, maybe even $15. So yeah. I apologize if I ramble. I apologize if I didn't highlight the information that you found relevant. If you have any questions, please ask. This is my first official TeacherTube video. At some point, I will actually have the courage to turn the camera around on myself. But I just went swimming with my 4-year-old and I'm not wearing any makeup. So in that sense, I wish you a happy end of the school year and happy planning for the coming year. I am personally super excited. This will be my first year back after over 10 years as a stay-at-home mom. And I'm moving from middle school to high school, which is where I had originally wanted to be anyway. So I feel like things are coming into place. And yeah, I look forward to sharing more ideas and products and a little bit of my experience. But yeah, I just thought I would highlight this because I've not seen a single review of this. And if you go to the Office Depot website, you'll see that this is a new product. So yeah, thank you so much.